Thank you for your attention. Now, let's deal with some matters about potential conflict of interest and corruption matters that have come up. As you are aware, so far, there have been 3 petitions submitted to the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, one from the CPP Youth League, one from the PPP, and another from a private citizen who is yet to be named. The SHRAJ has confirmed receipt of all of this and says it is beginning the initial processes. And this will include invite, as it were, consolidating all of this into one petition and then inviting the president to give his response and reaction to them, and then the process will start for the investigations to be done. You know, President Kufuor has been subjected to this before, so this is not strange. And as we know now, also the Occupy Ghana also issued a statement and suggested that as far as conflict of interest was concerned, it was very clear that the president was caught. But there appears to be another aspect of some corruption of sort, which they feel that the police should take the right steps to investigate so that we can confirm whether that also exists. Now, the president has been speaking about it, and let's hear him briefly, and then we'll come to look at that issue. The president has been speaking. Let's hear him.
But when you have no message and you take to allegations of corruption baseless, the Constitution prescribes what should be done if you believe a person is corrupt. I've been president of this country. If you believe I have indulged in corruption, you have the constitutional means to do what you want to do. But when you make baseless rumors and accusations, it won't win you the presidency. The people of Ghana are discerning, and I believe that come November 7th, they will make their decision.
Recently, there's the issue of a Ford expedition. I've never been under the illusion that that vehicle was a gift to the state, and it's never been used for my personal comfort. In any case, I don't use Ford. I don't like American cars. I use Japanese cars. Toyota is my car. It's a matter for the Commission on Human Rights. I hear there's a petition there. Who appropriately will respond to it.
So that's been the president, and we've had other people talk. The PPP has spoken about it. The NPP also held a press conference led by Freddie Blay. I think we should just listen to Freddie Blay and then move on from there. Clearly taking a clear political stance on the issue and saying that there ought to be a bipartisan parliamentary investigation or parliamentary probe of the matter, just like Occupy Ghana also suggested. Let's hear Freddie Blay.
What we know as a fact is that Manasseh Azuri came back from Burkina Faso with a confession extracted from Mr. Kanouzoy, an international contractor based in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. It was he, the alleged bribe giver himself, who, after being confronted by the evidence, dropped his denials, his first denials, and admitted to buying a brand new 4-wheel drive SUV as a gift to the President of the Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, these are neither the words of the NPP nor the journalists who did the investigation. Our view is simple. This matter must be probed further to its logical conclusion. Let me emphasize, this matter must be probed further to its logical conclusion. That is the position of the New Patriotic Party. The president himself has not been able to deny any of the basic facts in this monumental scandal.
Freddie Blay, acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Well, why did the NPP find it meet to organize a press conference over this issue, particularly when you knew that the PPP, the CPP, and some other private citizen had already petitioned Shraj. And now you are suggesting a different mode of investigation. You say bipartisan parliamentary probe instead of the Shraj route. Why?
Thank you, Samson. Yes, the NPP is entitled to comment because the NPP is a major stakeholder in the good governance of this country. The suggestion of a parliamentary probe does not stop the work of any other legitimate body. Parliament is a legitimate body to conduct such investigation. And we believe that the petition at Shraj would not necessarily interfere with any work that Parliament too can do, especially because of the multi-partisan nature of any parliamentary committee. And so you will not have any notion of a cover-up or any lackadaisical attitude. But Samson, I mean, first we must congratulate your reporter, your colleague Manasseh Azuri, for the diligent work that he did, and also to congratulate Multimedia for allowing this story to be aired on your platforms. It's a further example of how the media...
the propaganda and bastardization
from Felix
that is being suffered under the hands of the NDC for this publication. Go ahead.
Well, but you deserve every commendation for this work. Now, President Mahama, look, when he does something that is worthwhile, we all come and sit here and acknowledge it. This time, what President Mahama has done is very disappointing. He shocked the whole world by what he has done. He's disappointed his admirers and non-admirers. He's breached all the provisions that we know on conflict of interest and ethics for public officials, including his own code of ethics issued to people like Felix. Breached all of them. And what he did in effect, even though he may not even realize it from his own pronouncements, what he's done is basically he's accepted a bribe. By all the codes on ethics for public officials and guidelines for conduct, he's breached all of them. The facts of the matter are very simple. President Mahama has taken an expensive gift from somebody who is in a commercial, contractual relationship with government. Those are the simple facts of the matter. Gifts are gifts. But whether they are inducements depends on the circumstances. And those circumstances are clearly spelled out in the various codes of conduct and in the various guidelines for public officers.
The reply and the reaction they've given you consistently, sustained, is that the ultimate purpose for which you can ground these questions of corruption or bribe or whatever ought to be private, personal gain. And there's no personal gain in this. So what's the point?
Now, how do we know that? How do we know that there's no personal gain? And how is that an excuse? If you went and stole money and you gave that money to an orphanage and you went to court and said, well, these 100 cedis that I picked from your pocket, I didn't spend it on myself. I gave it to the Osu orphanage. So the court should free you because you didn't benefit from that 100 cedis that you took from somebody's pocket. You gave it to the orphanage because you thought the orphanage needed 100 cedis more. Can that be a defense? So the earlier the president and the NDC stop trying to justify this, the better it will be for them. I just heard you play the president saying that in his mind, he was under no illusion that this was a gift to the state. You know, different interpretations can be given. In his mind, he was under no illusion that this was a gift to the state. You can interpret it to mean that the president didn't think this was a gift to the state, or you can interpret it to mean that in his mind, he knew this was a gift to the state. Let's assume that the president knew right from the day one that this was going to the state. The document that allowed the vehicle to come into the country did not talk about a gift to the state. It talked about a gift to the president. That's number one. Number two, this vehicle came into this country in October 2012. It was then declared at the Tema port in February 2013, 4 clear months after. Now, if it's a gift to the state, why was it necessary to go clear it at Tema port and pay a duty of 23,000 Ghana cedis if this was a gift intended for the state?
And in an individual state?
And in an individual snap, given that instance already. So you can't justify this. Now, this business about, I don't even like American cars, is an indiscreet statement to be made by the president. We are in a certain relationship with the United States where we are getting so much support from them. Recently, we took their unwanted detainees. Now we go and take the unwanted detainees, and then we go out in public and say we don't like their technology. It's an indiscreet statement from the president.
Thank you.
Now, no, I haven't.
No,
finished.
we have,
now,
we have
just
very limited time
yes,
to
I
deal
know.
with the issue.
Now, to show you why I'm saying this clearly, it's a bribe because it breaches all the
30 seconds,
provisions.
straightforward.
The president's own code of ethics that is issued to people like Felix, it says that gifts that are to be accepted without any conditions should not exceed $50. This is the president's own code of ethics. He also goes on his own code of ethics to say that a conflict of interest may arise if a minister's family or friends might derive or be perceived as deriving some personal, financial, or other benefit from a decision or action. So even the appearance the president says that don't even put yourself in a situation where it could appear that your personal interest is influencing a public decision.
In fact, if you read further that code, it says that the appearance is the same as actual.
Yes, and then my conclusion, then the president goes on to say in his own code of ethics given to Felix and his compatriots, to avoid the creation or appearance of an obligation, gifts in cash or kind are not to be solicited or accepted from a commercial enterprise or any other organization. Now, you tell your appointees that to avoid the creation or appearance of an obligation, they should not accept gifts in cash or kind from a commercial enterprise or any other organization. And then you go ahead to accept a gift from a commercial organization.
So you're expecting that the parliamentary probe will end up saying what? Endorsing these and then deciding that what? He be removed?
There is some disputes. We need to have a body that can clearly establish the facts. You heard the president say that this was a gift to the state. Documents show that this was a gift to him.
Okay.
It's subsequent intervention.
Thank you very much.
So we need to establish the facts.
Thank you very much.
I was going to read to you what Batidam is on.
We have played and gone over that.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes, we have. Now,
Felix doesn't know.
Now,
Felix,
let me read it. Sorry. No, sorry.
Let me just read
Batidam. Now, we don't have time. You have done too much. It's okay. Thank you. Now, all of these that are coming are the president. And the president's response, like you just heard, comments that are indiscreet, and also the president's attitude, which are not somehow in consonance with his earlier attitude to matters of corruption. How do you react?
First of all, no corruption has arisen. And you alluded to what you called propaganda and bashing from the NDC. Well, I don't know about propaganda, but if Joy FM and Manasseh have received bashing, it will be thoroughly deserved because of the way that they have approached this matter. Essentially,
I think they should be dealing with the issue, not
I'm dealing with the issue. Yes, I'm
not
dealing
rather the individual.
But what do you call no? If a journalist does a story on a radio station and you criticize that journalist, you call it bashing. No, I'm saying that if you have received bashing and criticism, even if it is severe, it will be thoroughly deserved because of
including
how.
Threats.
Well, of course, there's no way that I will endorse threats, so that does not even arise. But as for the bashing, it is thoroughly deserved. Okay,
You're asking people to stop.
I'm not going to respond.
No.
It is obvious what my position is on that matter. The fact is that all that Manasseh, and by extension, Joy FM has sought to do, is to link two unrelated things. There is no doubt that there was a gift of a vehicle to the president, which is documented. No doubt about it. That kind of presentation is not unprecedented. It is not unprecedented. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. That is fact. What is also fact is that the president did not have any form of involvement in any way, shape, or form with the award of the two contracts that Manasseh sought rather mischievously to link to this gift. Indeed, it is noteworthy that in Manasseh's own story, he does not establish even the most tenuous connection between the two issues.
Have you read
So
the
for
code of ethics?
please, again,
Have you read it?
you see, this is classic propaganda. That code of ethics is dated 2013.
That code
Please,
of ethics derives from a 2009.
Yes, but in any event,
Shraj code of conduct
in
and
what
ethics.
way?
Yeah.
In what way?
You go ahead.
Listen, in what
Go ahead.
way? No, fact. The code of ethics prepared by government for the president was done
please,
in 2013. The gift we are talking about was given in 2012. So materially, no connection exists between the two, except for propaganda purposes.
How about the Shraj?
I'm saying that even then, how does the president find himself in the
Even
conflict of interest position?
the constitutional provision,
You are heckling
the
me.
constitutional
You
proceeding,
see, you are not
prescription
going to
precedes
stop
all of
me
this.
from making my point. So stop heckling.
Nana, with the
fact is
greatest
that-
of respect
the
to
fact is
you,
that
I will ask that you stop interrupting as you have done.
Samson, the
Please
fact
don't
is
do
this.
it again, Nana. Don't do it again.
Samson, the fact is this: the two contracts in question. In what way was the president connected? For anybody to suggest that the gift was a bribe for him to award the two contracts, for me, is a blatant falsehood. It is malicious, and it reveals a certain abject ignorance of contracting. Look, the contracting processes of both projects precede the presidency of President Mahama. In fact, in the instance of the Dodo Purposes to Nkwanta Road, it is an EU-funded project. The processes started long before he became president. It was done on the basis of international competitive tendering. The European Union, which financed it, had representatives on the panel that reviewed the bids. For anybody to suggest that the president was in any way, shape, or form involved in that process is a blatant falsehood. And that's the point that I'm making. So if Manasseh picks isolated cases and attempts to link them in a manner that would suggest that the president of this country has received a bribe, who receives a bribe for nothing? Let the answer be provided. How can you receive a bribe for doing nothing? Again, if it is about a gift, I've told you that it is not unprecedented. In 2007, President Kufuor got a gift from Libya. The Libyan Arab Holding Company has contractual commercial arrangements with the government of Ghana. Indeed, not long after that.
We have gone over that
let me make the
debate.
point.
And
Let me
also,
make the
it
point.
has been established very clearly that in those circumstances, this was a clear gift to the presidency.
That is where you are wrong.
And there were negotiations
that is where you are wrong,
that were not done under closed door. And the presentation was also made before the full glare of the Ghanaian
Whether the
public.
presentation was made publicly or privately is immaterial.
Oh,
Second,
why?
President Kufuor, listen, let me make the point. President Kufuor, at least myjoyonline.com, on the 21st of August, 2011, in a story filed by Juliana York at 1934 GMT, you report the president as having said that he received that gift personally, but he gave it to government. If you like, I'll read the appropriate paragraphs to you. He was talking about the overthrow of Gaddafi. And here is it. He, that is the president, former President Kufuor, he also denied rumors that the one-time leader of Libya gave him a car during the 2007 AU summit in Accra. According to ex-President Kufuor, the late Muammar al-Gaddafi gave him a Benz car as a gift, but that was before the 2007 AU summit commenced. He also added that he gave out the Benz car from Gaddafi to the government when he was leaving office. Now, this is a story filed by myjoyonline.com based on an interview President Kufuor had with Bedouin on Multi TV, that's Adum TV. It was filed by Juliana York. If you didn't file this story, say so. Anybody listening to me,
you don't think the
can Google it.
Circumstances are completely different?
You see, they are not different. The fact is that
because
he made a point. You see,
if a story had not been made of this Ford expedition, will we have gotten
but
to
it
know
is
about
not,
it?
the point is that it is not
There
an
is
issue.
a claim that it was put in the presidential
That
pool.
is true.
Do we know that for
That
a
is
fact?
true. That is
That's
a
claim
fact.
from the
That is a
government.
fact. Listen,
Do
that
we
is
know
a fact.
that for a fact?
Listen, that is a fact. Same way President Kufuor
But do
put
you
this.
know?
No,
Do you
but
know
Samson,
that
Samson,
people have some information to suggest to the contrary that the car was being used by some family of the president.
By the president.
Some family
the president
member
has
of
told
the
you that he's
president.
not using it. The thing is in the presidential pool.
Why did he
You understand
register
me?
it?
You see, you are making the point that
Why did he register
two
it?
contracts were awarded to a contractor, and that some way somehow this car was supposed to induce the president to award the contract. I have established to you that the president had no relationship with those two contracts.
You haven't established
Two.
Read
If
ethics.
you are suggesting that merely because a contractor gives a vehicle to a president or a government or for whatever purpose, it influences that government one way or the other. I'm telling you that when Kufuor received this gift from Libya, not long after that, City Hotel was given to the Libyan Arab Holding Company. I cannot say that President Kufuor was corrupt because of this.
I'm saying this so-called President Kufuor.
It is not so-called. This is your own report.
Showcased to the whole
But
nation.
Samson, this is your own report. You are saying that the man has said that the gift was to him. Whether it was showcased publicly or privately, for me, is immaterial.
Okay.
But the point I'm making is that what we do in this country...
Stop.
Whether, you see, what we do in this country is that we pick on individuals and seek to tarnish their reputation for no reason. You understand the point I'm making? Manasseh could simply have said that he has found out that a contractor gave the president a gift. For him to have gone further to attempt to link that gift to those two contracts was most mischievous. I'm saying it is a blatant falsehood.
So what's your expectation? Bipartisan parliamentary probe,
as for the MPP,
Shraj, what are expectations? What do you say about those processes?
You see, as for the MPP, they dabble in shallow opportunism. Okay? Political parties do that. All those processes before Shraj, I am confident, will amount to nothing.
Wow.
At best, it is for their nuisance value. Because I am absolutely certain that no wrongdoing has been occasioned in this instance. But of course, what is wrong with paying duty?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What is wrong with paying duty?
How does that constitute? Please don't answer him and take my time.
How does paying duty
Let me go to Kaku. Please, gentlemen. Nana, what you're doing is very disruptive. Sorry, very disruptive. You should stop it. Nana, stop what you're doing. It's so unfair. Well, you have unfortunately, somehow there's a certain, direction at you, and you have come under some severe attack as far as these matters are concerned. I want you to stick to the questions of the petitions. It does appear even that's not the end of what we are going to see at Shraj, and also the call for bipartisan parliamentary probe.
Yes, exactly. That's where the focus should be. We've interrogated some of these
issues. Yeah, we've gone over these
last
things.
Week.
Yeah.
And I am very happy that we are moving into a realm where investigations by statutory bodies or creatures of the Constitution will be conducted. I recall when the Hotel Kufuor and the so-called renovation of President Kufuor's private residence became issues. We had similar noises about corruption, conflict of interest, abuse of office, and all those things. My good friend, and the question of going to Parliament to make a statement and the things. And I remember very well Freddie Blay, who is my good friend, then as a first Deputy Speaker of Parliament. In a report here, he said, I'm quoting from Ghana Web, the Elambele MP noted that the minority should have moved the motion. They were talking of motion for parliamentary inquiry. Should have moved the motion earlier on instead of deciding to run the debate on radio stations where everybody says what he wants. Quote unquote. They should have done this long ago. They only did it last week, he observed. The first Deputy Speaker of Parliament said the minority only wanted to flog the matter so as to be able to drag it for a while. He said, judging from the comments in the media over the issue, he could foresee people taking extreme and entrenched party positions. You see, parliamentary inquiry, I see a dead end to that because of the nature of our parliament and the way we play our politics. I recall the Abacha $5 million bribe allegation. Mr. Hackman Owusu Achampong tried to move a motion. Justice Annan, the Speaker, first ruled against him. So he moved a substantive motion in accordance with the standing orders. It was debated widely and then thrown away because of the majority's position. You recall Merchant Bank, even though that was not relative to the conduct of a president. Nitu tried. It didn't happen, if you recall.
Yes.
Hotel Kufuor, the minority tried. The motion was never tabled. I can tell you honestly that I don't see how this particular call for bipartisan parliamentary thing is going to work. They are going to crash it using the partisan political things, propaganda and all the rest. It's not going to work. But Shraj would work. I've heard some people contest in terms of Shraj's mandate, composition and things. That's also a dead issue. The Supreme Court ruled some time ago in the Apiampofu case that you don't need the trinity, quote unquote, of Shraj in place in order for Shraj to trigger an investigation. I'm sure you know that. I brought a court judgment here. So whether there's an acting chairperson or there's only one commissioner at post is immaterial. Shraj as an investigative body is mandated, and based on the Supreme Court ruling of 20th July 2005, they are mandated, they could proceed with the investigations. What I like about an organized forum, I've been to Shraj before. I complained, a petition against Apiampofu, National Insurance Commissioner, on a $95,000 bribe that he took.
Justice Shaw speaks about that.
Yes.
That they eventually found him guilty.
Yes, I have the report here. We had to produce documents. We were subjected to strict proof. I didn't take a lawyer. I dealt with it myself. What I love about this is that people will be subjected to strict proof. It's good that the CPP Youth League, the PPP, the Ghanaian Citizen are all heading towards that place. Okay, I wish Parliament could do it too, but unfortunately, the nature of our politics and the Parliament, they won't do it.
There are those who suggest that, Emil Short, Crusading Commissioner, Anna Bosman, these are people you could go to sleep and trust that they would do, it doesn't matter where the axe falls. But presently, for someone to be in an acting position and hoping that he'll be confirmed by the president, you put them in an invidious position when you give them a job to do.
Anna Bosman was acting.
Right.
He was acting.
Right.
Not just in the Anani case, but even in the Hotel Kufuor one. She was acting.
Okay.
And people raised the same issues. That because she's acting and she would wish to be made substantive, there's a deficit. Oh, the Commissioner Short was out of Ghana, so you don't have the full complement of the commissioner. These issues, I'm saying, were settled
You're right.
at the court of competent jurisdiction, the highest court. So it is a dead issue for me. Those who have made those allegations and have the evidence, they are welcome. I think it's the best thing for this country.
Okay.
It's in the interest of the president himself, as well as good governance, that these matters are subjected to critical scrutiny in an organized forum.
Right.
I vote for those who have proceeded to Shraj. I wish Parliament could do same.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't see it happening.
Thank you, Kweku. And all of those going to Shraj, there's been a suggestion that you have to take your time and slow down. Make sure you have the evidence properly gathered in a form that will not be shut down.
You remember the technical knockout Babin suffered with the presidential, the private residence.
Because it does appear that some people are a bit in a hurry,
TKO.
and all they are doing is just picking the news publications and then running to Shraj. If you're not careful, because the president can afford the best of counsel. They'll go shoot it down, and you never get a hearing. And I used the example of the Shraj case, which I led for the Commissioner Lamte. You know, there was not only one petition that was submitted. There were a number of petitions. It is one petition that survived. And that petition that survived led to the removal of the Shraj boss. What it means is that you can have petitions that are not, it's not because you have a bad case, but because of the way you present them, they may be thrown out.
That's why Freddie Blaze says Shraj or Parliament is not the same as being on radio and television talking.
Okay, right.
Now, is quite appropriate. You should follow it.
A couple of questions. One coming from Kweku to Felix, asking, Felix, are you suggesting that by your defense that what he's saying is that going forward, ministers and the president can receive gifts from contractors? Is that what you're saying? And that there's nothing wrong with it? And also, Malik asked the question, what would you say about the fact that Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman was a moderator of the IEA platform, and after that she was made a minister? So what exactly is the problem you have with IEA. Let us know. Now, as I talked to you about ACAP compost fertilizer, which is an organic fertilizer made from pure organic materials, you need it because it's the best you can get. ACAP compost fertilizer has very high organic matter, other than nutrients, good water retention properties, and that's ideal for all crops, including vegetable, fruits, and cereals. So ACAP compost fertilizer is available in all leading agro shops. So get ACAP compost fertilizer. Also, Prostacure tea is a specially formulated health drink that improves all problems in your urination. If you have any urinary problems, what you need is Prostacure tea, and it improves frequent urination during the day and night. It will improve it or stop it. Delayed urination, straining during urination, urgency to urinate, interruption of urine flow, among others. Prostacure from Medimosis Prostate Center. They are located at Adenta Barrier, Tema, Ajekojo, or Ahenema Kokobing in Kumasi. You can call them 020-814-0668 or 0244-06-844-7. That's the number to contact them. And Bank of Africa, they are strong as a group and close as a partner. If you're a public service worker, you need a loan, go to them. 48 hours, you get the loan, and 5 years to repay, 3 months to consider how you go about paying them. White Temple Agencies Limited, they are the ones that are providing you the most extremely durable, cost-effective ferro roof tiles such as Rio, Diva, Veneto, Wood, and Zisson that beautify any building. You can contact them 030-267-3773. That is the best that you can talk about. Install solar power today from the world-leading brand Vitron Energy. They install both off-grid solar and hybrid solar systems for residential and commercial users. So reduce your electricity bills and get the best from Vitron Energy. Now, you can call them 054-112-3430 or 020-400-8074, and they will fix your energy problems for you. Dr. Evans, I agree. There's some 3 minutes. Let's see what you can say about this matter of conflict of interest matters with the president.
Yeah, thank you very much. 3 minutes.
We have shortchanged.
Yes, yeah, I've been shortchanged. Yes.
Okay, so now let's go to it quick.
Yeah. Quickly. I think that we've moved on. We're at a point where people want to activate the various constitutional creatures that we have. For instance, people have decided to go to court. Go to the Shraj. As for parliamentary issues, Parliament has 3 basic committees. We have the standing committees, we have the select committees, and then the ad hoc committees. They hardly activate this last one, with the ad hoc, and largely because of what Alexis de Tocqueville talk about and complain about, the tyranny of the majority in his book, The Democracy
What
in
about
America.
the frivolity of the minority?
Interesting.
That's an interesting, but the majority will necessarily will prevent that from happening. So, but if you go to Shraj, it's an opportunity for us also to build our institutions. We're not just going to label somebody as corrupt and get away with it. That is a much more rigorous environment that you need to really will have to meet a certain standard, so to speak. It provides us the opportunity to learn and provides us the opportunity for the institutions themselves also to build capacity and demonstrate that indeed they have been created and they are serving the people. And of course, that will also help us, all of us, to appreciate that perhaps it's not just about information that is out there, but whether you are able to prove it or not. So, that is the cornerstone of really democratic, governance, rule of law, fundamentally, cornerstone of democracy. So, I welcome those interventions, but I will insist that the president should, in most cases, stick to his tests and not really, sometimes if you want to speak a temporary, if you look at the American president, wherever they have fallen into problems, it's because they have moved out of their
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, but we have just run out of time. Thank you. Dr. Evans Agri Darko is is a lecturer with the Department of Political Science, University of Ghana, Legon. Felix Kwachie-Fosu, Deputy Minister of Communications. Nana Komia, Director of Communications, MPP. Abdul Malik Kweku Bako, Editor-in-Chief of the New Crusading Guide newspaper. Thank you all very much. I'm Samson Ladia Yenini. My outfit, as always, is by Latida. I just discovered that Newsfile is also on the DSTV channel 419. That's interesting. Enjoy. Have a good afternoon.
That thing is a real surprise. I didn't know.